Hi, I'm Joyce Kettering from Creative and Productive. So, in this video, I'm going to address the concerns of indie musicians who are considering licensing their music but are worried that submitting their songs to music libraries may hurt their chances of signing a deal with a record label or a publisher or both in the future. So, first thing you need to keep in mind is that record labels are usually interested in signing new music. So if your band is trying to license self-released music, it's unlikely to be a problem with your future record label unless you've devalued your band's brand while you were doing it. So what I mean by that is that when a record label eventually wants to sign you, it probably won't care that you've licensed your previous EP's songs, because it probably won't want to release those songs again. It's very rare that they want to re-release old songs. Anyway, you still don't want to devalue your brand. So in order to avoid devaluing your band's brand, that's hard to say, while you're pursuing licensing opportunities, there are a few things you can do. First, you can focus on licensing tracks that didn't make the cut to the EP or album, and you just, you're not going to use them again, so you might as well kind of repackage them and use them for licensing purposes only. You can use a pseudonym so that your real artist name is not tainted by anything related to music licensing. And note that this can work in your favor or in your, the other way around, but we'll talk a little bit about more in a couple of minutes. You also want to avoid libraries that don't pay. So, if you're not valuing your music, if you're putting it in libraries that pay you like $20 a pop, then you cannot expect a record label or a publisher to value your music. Like, they're not interested in music that sells for $20 a pop. They want music that they can license in adverts and TV shows and indie films for at least $200 if it's a small record label, and much more if it's a huge label. Anyway, so you want to avoid libraries that devalue your music financially. You also want to aim for placements that increase your credibility as an artist. So that's why I was saying that using a pseudonym could be a good thing if you're aiming for low-end placements. For $20 a pop. But if you're aiming and you're being successful at getting your music in big TV shows or video games, then having your real artist name, having a pseudonym would be too bad, because you wouldn't, attach that visibility to your real artist name. So, you want to aim for placements that increase your credibility as an artist. Also, you want to avoid long-term deals as much as possible. So this is actually more important in my opinion, than the exclusive versus non-exclusive debate. Because, say you sign an exclusive agreement for 1 year, but you sign a non-exclusive deal in perpetuity. So sure, the non-exclusive deal gives you the freedom to license your tracks elsewhere, but it doesn't give you a lot of freedom to it doesn't give you any freedom to cancel the contract. Whereas if you sign a really short-term exclusive deal, then yeah, sure, for maybe 1 year, you're not allowed to shop that track around. But at the end of a year, you get your freedom back, basically. So, the length of the deal determines basically how long you're stuck with it. So, it also makes you, like, signing a long-term deal potentially makes you less appealing to a record label or a publisher, because record labels and publishers tend to want full control of the catalog. So that's the first thing. Now, second thing is, publishers and record labels look for music they can sell. And if you're a band with a track record of getting, good licensing deals without the help of a publisher, that's a huge bonus. Like, that shows you have a commercial potential. It shows you're a professional, because, to get those kind of deals, you need to be, good, you need to be driven, and you need to take action consistently. So it says a lot about you as, a reliable musician. And there are lots and lots of talented musicians out there, but reliable professional musicians, the competition is less fierce, let's say. So from a record label's point of view in particular, every placement is an opportunity for visibility. It's basically free advertising. And actually for you, it's advertising where you get paid, so it's even better. Anyway, that doesn't mean that licensing is all rosy. Certainly not, and you definitely have to watch out for certain things. So, first thing is you don't want to sign away your rights. You need to make sure that you keep ownership of your composition. So that's like the music and lyrics, the song, and also you want to keep the rights to the sound recording. So that's the audio, what you hear. That's your performance on the recording. So it's okay to give music libraries the publisher's share for the placements that they get to you, but you should make sure that you aim for short-term agreements. Again, that way if it doesn't work out, it doesn't take long to get out of it. So you're not stuck forever, basically. And that's even more the case if you sign an exclusive deal, by the way, because I mentioned earlier that it's probably better to sign a short-term exclusive deal than a long-term non-exclusive deal, but the worst that you can do is sign a long-term exclusive deal. At least, unless they pay you in advance, and then it's all cool, but if you consider the advance is big enough. But otherwise, you can get stuck pretty easily. Also, I mentioned previously, being able to get out of all contracts fairly quickly and easily can be really appealing to a record label or a publisher that you're talking to. So I hope that clarifies things a bit. Music licensing is definitely a great avenue to pursue for indie bands. It's lucrative, of course, but perhaps more importantly for touring bands that who are building a fan base, it can actually bring a lot of visibility and credibility to your name. So that's it for today, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment. Bye!